My name is Denise Boler, and I live in Denver, Colorado. I usually get around my city by public transportation, ride share occasionally, and taxi cab occasionally. Particular way that I get around that I think is the most safest is probably the ride share. For one, you get to identify who the driver is and the car. As a black woman, when I'm traveling, it actually depends on the input that comes from other people. I have traveled on, just walking, not riding anything, where I have been stopped by police for no apparent reason other than them making a assumption and they were totally wrong. We use the term sundown town, and what that means is if you're African American, I can't speak about other minorities, but if you're African American, in certain areas you don't be out after dark. So when the sun goes down, basically, when the sun goes down, you get out of town or you go in the house. You don't be out and about. In the presence of law enforcement, honestly, I am nervous because you never know what type of attitude they're bringing to the situation to start with. So now, it's not as severe as a female per se, but I have boys or men, and I'm really nervous in that situation. Well, my younger son, and this was years ago because he was in middle school, and something had happened, and a police officer, it's a group of fellows, maybe two or three, he's a small circle person, and the police kind of ran up on him and jumped out of the car and show me your ID, where are you going, blah, blah, blah. So when he came home and explained the situation to me, I was outraged, honestly. I called Denver Police Department, and I said, first of all, don't you ever approach my child without identifying yourself as law enforcement and showing a badge or a business card. I have instructed my child not to stop for anyone that does not have proper credentials because children have been kidnapped and all other sorts of things. And they were, well, no, there's no need. Yes, there is a need. I'm an African American woman with African American boys, and you guys know what the situation is. One of the ways that we can kind of curb the bias, sensitivity training is a great part of it. But the other part of that approach is, you can do all the sensitivity training and anti-bias training and anti-racist training that you want. It will bring a level of awareness, but it will not necessarily stop that, because these kind of things come from the way you were raised and the way, and the things that influenced you. And so it's hard. You can put this out there, but you can't change a person's sentiment. You can't change their minds. You can't change their ideas. I think a lot of it has to do with the way people are raised, and I call it, what they discuss when they're at the dinner table.